Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're starting something new, and that is what if Vegeta was born as a Saiyan god. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I mainly post Osu stuff. Now back to the video. Before we get into the story, we have to discuss some possible changes to it. So what do I mean by saying God? Well, I don't mean God Key only, that's for sure. By saying God, I mean he's a proper God. Just like the Kais, Destroyers, Angels, you get the point. Basically, he will have the divine energy of a God. In the God Key one I made, his power level was the same as in canon. He just had God Key within him. In this one, however, he is classified as a real god, which means whatever happens will result in a power increase exponentially higher than canon. With this out of the way, let's start with the series. On age 732, Vegeta was born, but something was unusual about him. His hair was red instead of black, as well as his eyes. King Vegeta, being confident he's an elite, goes and puts him along with the rest of the elites. However, he's quite disappointed when he sees that Vegeta doesn't exert any energy at all. At best, it shows up as unrecognizable. Seeing that, the king was quite disappointed and angry he made a child looking almost exactly like him but won't be able to become the king. Or so he thinks. He goes and investigates the fact that his son has red hair, and after a while he finds an answer from the Frieza Force. How the red hair and eyes indicate a Super Saiyan God has appeared. King Vegeta has never been more prideful in his son, but then questions the lack of his son's power level. But that question remained unanswered. Zarbon eventually caught up to it all and told Frieza that King Vegeta is fathering a Super Saiyan God, and how they could pose a serious threat in the future. Frieza agrees, but then again, he'd like to see where this unfolds and if he can get the Prince Vegeta to be at his disposal. 5 years have passed and the Saiyans are just as loyal as ever, but they're being constantly watched by Frieza. Prince Vegeta, after conquering a planet, sees what he's been doing all his life and knows that if he can't find any Saiyans, he will go nuts. He gets back to the ship and gets called in by Frieza, saying he has to talk to him. He gets there and Frieza breaks the silence, saying that since he's a very loyal soldier, he will become a Frieza Force elite soldier once he grows up. Vegeta was happy, but in the back of his head, he knew something wasn't right, but he moved on regardless. That was about the right time for Kakarot to be born, and was just as casual as a low-class baby, as always, and was destined to be sent to some backwater planet. Frieza then lets Vegeta on a mission with some other Saiyan elites, while he takes care of their planet by, well, destroying it. Before the disaster, Bardock sends Kakarot to Earth in a pod. Frieza prepares the blast and throws it at planet Vegeta, destroying it. Vegeta was informed about a planet getting destroyed. He thinks through it and realizes what Frieza meant by him becoming his right side man, and the purpose of sending them away so suddenly. Vegeta then cracks his counter and tells the others to do the same, saying they're done with Frieza and that it won't work for the person that just annihilated their planet. They get rid of all non-Saiyan soldiers and then mutilate some dead people similar-ish to them and change their armor so they look like deceased selves. With that, they go low-key. All the while, Frieza thinks they died while conquering. He believes that they have escaped, so he goes to investigate. He sends a bunch of soldiers to the area and they report back to Frieza, saying the whole squad has been mutilated as they can recognize Vegeta and Nappa along with the other soldier. Frieza couldn't believe it, but says it doesn't really matter since they were mere monkeys. Kakarot is renamed to Goku on Earth and the franchise takes a normal turn. But this time, the three Saiyans are jumping from planet to planet to eat, train, and humiliate the residents of that specific planet they were in. All that goes the same up until Raditz Saga. It all unfolds pretty much the same way. Piccolo briefly meets Raditz and gets one shot. Raditz then heads to Kame House where Goku is with his friends and his 5-year-old son Gohan. Raditz arrives and tries to bargain with Goku, but no one really listens. So Kakarot takes his nephew Gohan and Goku is pinned down to the ground. Raditz says if he wants his son back, he will join him and destroy this planet. After Raditz leaves with Gohan, Piccolo arrives and asks of Goku to go take down Raditz. Goku agrees and, well, everyone else goes along. This time, they start thinking of a plan to defeat him as soon as possible, and Krillin recommends grabbing his tail, thinking that he probably didn't train the tail like Goku did in his childhood, so he goes for it. Upon arrival, Raditz is already waiting there and sees a whole squad there, knowing they're not going down without a fight. So they just begin fighting, and it's clear Raditz is plenty stronger. But eventually Goku manages to grab Raditz's tail from behind instead of holding him in place. That was a great mistake, however, when Goku released his tension on Raditz's tail, as Piccolo started charging a Makako Sapo. Once done, he fired it. It pierced through Raditz and Goku, even though it was purely unintentional. But Piccolo kind of enjoyed looking at Goku fading away from reality. Krillin then starts talking about how they can bring him back with the Dragon Balls, but they then hear the scouter babbling on something to Raditz, but they get no response. Gohan is rescued by Piccolo and then taken away, because he fears that there are more of them coming to Earth. He was right as Krillin took the scouter and spoke to Nappa. Nappa said that since they spewed out the Dragon Ball part of the story, they're gonna come very soon, which was kind of a scare for them. They then went to the lookout and asked of Kami to train them, as Goku will be training on King Kai's world until he's revived. But Goku told him not to, as there's a myth about King Kai and his training. So he went for it after being told about more Saiyans coming to Earth. While on King Kai's planet, Goku was told about Vegeta and how he's the Prince of Saiyans and also possesses something called God Ki, so he won't be able to sense him because of that. After a year, the two Saiyans arrive and start searching for Kakarot now that they've lost Raditz. They don't destroy much this time, but the Z fighters are well prepared. Vegeta and Nappa just gaze at the fighters and notice Gohan. They realize he is a half Saiyan and how they can make use of the Saiyan hybrid, but they're here to pick up Goku. Goku arrives and prepares to fight him. Vegeta tells Nappa to go fight Goku, and Nappa fails miserably. However, he doesn't get killed because his spine isn't broken like in the original. Vegeta then steps up, knowing he can't be surpassed as he unleashes his fire-like aura. Goku says he was told the Saiyans were ruthless, but he sees he was off a little bit. Vegeta confirms it, then asks that he just like to test Goku's strength, and Goku says that he's quite buffed up since the fight with Raditz and himself. Vegeta respects the fact Goku is honest, as he goes in and kicks Goku in the chest, temporarily disabling him from doing anything, as Vegeta gives him a flurry of punches. Goku sees that Vegeta can also control his power, and it's way higher than him and Nappa combined, doubting if a ×10 Kaioken burst could do anything to that beast, but tries it anyways as Goku unleashes a Kaioken ×10 momentarily, landing a punch on Vegeta. Now Goku is seemingly making his mark, but it's not enough as Vegeta powers up even further. Vegeta then stops and says that he can see why he could beat Nappa so easily, and offers him a proposition to leave this place, as he has something way better in mind. Goku thinks it's a diversion, but Vegeta says that there is a creature 1,000 times more stronger, and he's the cum stain that wiped their people from existence. With such talented fighters, such as himself and Goku, he's sure they can win. Goku accepts the proposal, but if he tries anything, he will go and stop him forcefully. With that, they've come to an agreement to battle Frieza together and defeat him once and for all. And with that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. If this idea is garbage, then click dislike. But if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea in the near future, comment down below. And as always, peace out.